Welcome, good morning. My name is Erin, and this will be our 1 hour all levels flow class. If you have 2 blocks, that'll be helpful. We'll start on the back, but before moving to the back, just a little bit of context about the theme this week. So this week we're focusing on the theme of side obliques and core engagement. And so when we think about the core, oftentimes we're really just thinking about that front of the torso. We often think about the muscle that's called the rectus abdominis, or that most superficial layer of muscle, the kind of stereotypical six-pack. And while it's great to develop those muscles, in yoga, it's actually much more important to develop those core muscles along the side of the body. So throughout our practice today, I invite you to really think about engaging, squeezing in that area around the outer ribs, what are called the internal and external obliques. These are the muscles that allow us to twist deeply, that allow us to hold side bends, but also the muscles that allow us to find stability in plank, dolphin, any pose where we're drawing everything in toward the midline. Same goes for inversions and arm balances. So just a little context about that. Keeping that theme in mind, make your way to the back, and we'll start in Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together. Option to slide your blocks outside your outer legs here for support, or for more intensity, you can keep the blocks aside. Just let the knees fall to each side. And then flip your palms up, lightly tuck your shoulder blades closer together underneath the back. Draw the chin slightly to the chest, and then settle in here. If it feels okay on the knees, you can slide the heels as close to the body as you can, or for less intensity, make more of a diamond with the legs. Pull the feet further away. As you settle into your shape, close down the eyes and close down the mouth. Reclined bound angle pose. Take a few minutes here to start to deepen your breath. When we begin our practice on the back, we're already using the core a bit more just to draw air down toward the belly. If you feel the lower back lifting off the mat, back arching, see if you can squeeze those muscles along the ribs in, pulling lower back to the mat. As you settle in here, start to find a pace of breath you can maintain as we begin to build heat. In yoga, striving to look effortless, feel effortless in the breath while we're deeply engaging the muscular physical body. Inhale through the nose, hold a slight pause. Exhale through the nose, slight pause. Throughout our practice today, anytime you lose your rhythmic breath, just start again. And if you haven't already, begin to activate your Ujjayi pranayama, yogic victory breath control. In yoga, we often think about breath. What we really mean is the active, consistent control of the breath. Next, inhale, lightly constrict the back of the throat, fill the belly with air. Exhale through the nose, keep the back of the throat constricted. If you're newer to Ujjayi, you might not hear that audible quality yet. That's okay. With time, working to cultivate an audible breath, just loud enough that you and someone right next to you would hear it. Take 3 breath cycles here in silence. Good. With your next exhale, open the eyes, keep the breath moving. And then bend the knees, plant the feet hips distance apart. We're setting up for a reclined pigeon into a twist. With an inhale, lift the right foot, cross right ankle over left leg, and then really flex your right toes. Start to walk the left foot as close to the body as you can, and let the right hip fall out to the side. And breathe. Stay here or bend the elbows, prana mudra, backs of the arms to the mat, fingers pointed away from you. If you do take that prana mudra shape, pull the belly down toward the mat. Abdominal muscles are active. Supta Ekapada Raja Kapotasana. Reclined one-footed king pigeon pose. And then we'll move just toward a gentle twist, not your deepest twist, just opening up the body here. Take an inhale. On the exhale, rotate to the left. Bring the right foot to the mat. Shift your gaze to the right. And breathe. Option to take your left hand to your inner right thigh. Press that right hip out and away. Just make sure not to press on the knee here. Good. Reclined pigeon twist. And with an inhale, come to the back. Unwind, plant the feet hips distance apart. If you have prana mudra, elbows bent, you can stay right where you are. Inhale, cross the left ankle over the right leg. And then walk your right heel as close to the body as you can. If the elbows are bent, fingers pointing back, actively draw the belly in, squeeze those outer rib muscles, bringing the whole back in contact with the mat. And then start to work the left hip out and away from the body. Good, deep, steady breaths here. Left toes are flexed. And we'll move toward our gentle twist. Inhale here. Exhale, rotate to the right, left sole of the foot to the mat. And then shift your gaze to the left. Stay here or place the right hand on the inner left thigh, gently pressing that left hip out and away from the torso. Again, just taking care not to press on the knee. Good, next inhale, roll to the back. Uncross the legs, plant both feet. And with an inhale, draw the knees into the chest, lift the head and shoulders off the mat. Uttanasana. Point the toes strongly, legs drawing together. Draw forehead to knees, knees to forehead. And breathe. Really contracting those abdominal muscles here as the back starts to round slightly. Wind releasing pose. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release. Send the arms wide in a T. Flip the palms down. And then make a 90-degree angle with the knees. Soles of the feet pointing away from you. Knees stacked right over hips. So feet are off the mat here. Keep your legs together. Take an inhale. Exhale, twist to the left. Left knees toward the left. Side crunch. Inhale, come through center, back on the mat. Knees stay bent. Exhale, twist to the right. Continue this way on your breath. Notice when you're twisting side to side, if you're pulling the knees toward the chest, that'll make it easier. See if you can keep knees right over hips. And breathe. So here we're getting into those muscles we talked about at the beginning, the side obliques. Each time we twist to the side, one side contracts, the other side opens. A couple more rounds left and right on your breath. Good. The next time you finish up your left side, meet me back through center, feet 90 degrees. And then bring hands behind the thighs, straighten the legs, start to rock and roll 4 or 5 times along the spine. Eventually, we'll cross the ankles, come to hands and knees, and move all the way to tabletop pose. As you find your tabletop, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Spread the fingers nice and wide, and breathe. Next, inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, Marjayasana. Exhale, tuck and round, chin to chest, Bitilasana. Inhale, arch through the back, cow pose. Exhale, tuck and round for cat. And then next inhale, come back to neutral tabletop. From here, lower to your forearms. Forearms are parallel. Palms spread wide, shoulders over elbows. Step the feet back, meet me in forearm plank. Option to lower the knees here, just like regular plank, long line from back of the head to heels. If knees are lowered, they're behind the hips. And we'll hold, squeezing everything in toward the middle of the body. Good, drop the buttocks just a bit more. Good, deep inhale here. Exhale, lower the knees, plant the hands, tuck your toes, hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, or first downward facing dog. Even in down dog, engaging those muscles along the outer ribs. Notice the difference between the chest and belly collapsing toward the floor versus pulling in and up through the core. Send your hips back. Maybe legs start to straighten. Good. Always an option to keep a deep bend in the knees here if you have any lower back pain. From here, inhale forward to plank, and we'll hold. Just like forearm plank, knees can be lowered or lifted. Long line from back of the head to heels. Good. Squeeze the rib cage in, pull in behind the navel. Deep inhale here. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale back to plank, just a breath. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin, hug the elbows to the rib cage. Turn your gaze forward. We'll hold here. Palms are right under shoulders, pressing down, fingers spread wide, toes tucked. Even in a back bend like this, we're still engaging the core. Pull up behind the belly. This helps to protect the lower back. Ashtanga Namaskar. Next, inhale, slide to the belly. Hover the palms and knees. Keep your toes tucked. Classical cobra, kneecaps off the mat. And then pull the shoulders down and away from the ears. Maybe rib cage lifts up. Good, deep inhale, Bhujangasana. Exhale, press for knees or plank. Back to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Throughout our practice today, you're welcome to find down dog, tabletop, or child's pose anytime you need a rest for the body or the mind. Gonna take one more breath cycle here. Next, inhale, come on the tiptoes, shift your gaze forward. Really come as high on the tops of the toes as you can. Then slowly tiptoe toward the hands. See how long you can keep the palms planted and engaged. Eventually meeting me in a forward fold, Uttanasana, at the top of the mat. And then two options for feet here and throughout our practice. For full intensity, big toes touching, heels an inch or two apart. For a little less intensity, you can bring the feet hips distance apart. And then if you have the space, interlace the fingers behind the back, pull your hands and heels of the hands together, straighten the arms, lift them up and overhead. Whichever arm shape you have, see how far forward you can draw the weight. Let the back of the neck fully relax here. And breathe. Run the tongue between the lips and the teeth. Soften through the jaw. One more inhale here. Exhale, release the hands toward the mat. Moving on the breath, inhale, half lift. On the exhale, fold to the right, hands outside your right foot. Inhale, half lift through center. Exhale, fold left, hands to the left. Inhale through center. And exhale, fold, let the head and shoulders hang heavy. Take a deep bend in the knees. And with an inhale, slowly roll up, press down through the feet. Head and shoulders come last. And we'll meet standing tall in Tadasana, mountain pose. Take a minute here in the shape to engage the whole body, starting with the feet. Spread down through the toes, lift the kneecaps, feel the quads contract. Tailbone tucks under, belly pulls in and up. And then even here in our standing shape, engage those muscles on the sides of the torso. Squeeze the rib cage in, feel your core tighten. Preparing for classical Surya Namaskar, sun salutes on the breath. From the top of the mat, inhale, palms to heart center. Exhale, roll the shoulders back. Inhale, reach arms forward and up. Exhale, reach forward and fold. Right foot steps back. Inhale, lower right knee. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank. Option to lower knees here. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin, tuck the elbows to the ribs. Inhale, slide forward, hover palms and knees. Exhale for knees or plank, downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward. Inhale, lower right knee. Exhale, step up and fold forward. Inhale to rise, reach forward, then up. Exhale, heart center, second side. Inhale to rise. Exhale, fold. Left foot steps back. Inhale, lower left knee. Exhale, press back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, forward to plank. Phalakasana. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, slide forward. Bhujangasana. Exhale back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right foot steps forward. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, step up and fold. Inhale to rise. Press the hips forward. Exhale, heart center. Again, like this. Inhale to rise. Exhale, fold. Right foot back. Inhale. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, roll forward. Press forward on the toes. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, slide forward. Bhujangasana. Exhale back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left foot forward. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Uttanasana. Inhale to rise. Hips forward. Exhale, heart. Last side. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Left foot back. Inhale. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, forward. Phalakasana. Exhale, lower. Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, forward. Bhujangasana. Exhale back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right foot forward. Inhale. Exhale, step up and fold. Inhale to rise, slight back bend. Exhale, heart, and release the arms. Back to Tadasana, mountain pose. Spread through the toes. Once more, find that full body engagement here. And then option to close down the eyes as we find standing crescent side bends, or you can keep the eyes open for less of a challenge. Either way, inhale, reach the arms up, catch the left wrist with the right hand, and then bend to the right, press your left hip to the left. Whether eyes are open or closed, gaze turns up toward the sky. Good, left shoulder pulling back. Squeeze those rib muscles in. And breathe. Next, inhale, rise through center. Catch the right wrist with the left hand. Exhale, bend left, press the right hip to the right, turn your gaze up, and then work that top shoulder back. Deep, steady breaths here. Inhale, rise up through center. Exhale, release the arms, open the eyes if they're shut down. Moving through modern Surya Namaskar A. That sun salute most of us think of as the vinyasa flow. Inhale, arms out and up, palms touch. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to plank, lower on the same exhale to the belly. Untuck your toes. Inhale, cobra, palms to the mat. Exhale, press back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And we'll hold about 5 breaths in your down dog. Remembering you can always lower to tabletop or all the way to child's pose if you need. In down dog, inner elbows rotating in toward the sides of the head. Inner thighs rotating toward one another. Heels grounding toward the mat. And then pull up behind the belly button. Good. If you found child's pose, move back to downward facing dog. From down dog, adding on. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. Send your right leg to the left for fallen star. Left hand to the left hip. Press down through your right palm. And then reach that left arm up and overhead. Stay here or lift your right leg off the mat. Pull your right toes forward. Good, lots of strength here. Engage the core. One more inhale. Exhale, plant the palms, step between the hands. Lower your back knee. Inhale, reach the arms up. Anjaneyasana. Exhale here, horse pose, low lunge. Option to untuck the back toes, going deeper. Maybe sliding your front foot forward. Inner thighs energetically drawing together. If you notice the belly splitting forward, use those core muscles to pull in through the torso. Torso straight and tall. Good. Deep inhale here. Exhale, palms to heart center. Twist to the right. Right elbow back, left elbow forward. We'll stay upright here, shoulders over hips. Really press through that right big toe. Parivrita, Parshva Konasana variation. Revolved side angle. Good. Next inhale, reach the arms up, just a breath. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, lower halfway or to the belly. Cobra or up dog. Exhale, hips back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Moving right to the second side. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. Send your left leg to the right. Fallen star. Right hand to the right hip. Gaze at your left palm. And then reach the right arm up and back. Stay here or lift the left leg off the mat, reaching those left toes forward. Deep inhale here. Exhale, step between the hands, plant the palms, lower your back knee. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, shoulders back and down. Good, fingers are spread wide. Anytime you reach the arms, slightly turning pinkies toward one another. This will help to roll the shoulders back and down. Option to untuck your back toes and slide your front foot forward. If you deepen your lunge, keep the torso straight and tall. Take an inhale, reach through the fingers. Exhale, palms to heart center, twist to the left. Left elbow back, right elbow forward. Good, and breathe. Keep pressing through the front big toe. And maybe gaze turns back to the left. Parivrita, Parshva Konasana variation. Next inhale, reach the arms up, just a breath. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Hold here or flow with me on the breath. If you're flowing, Inhale to plank. Exhale, chaturanga or to the belly. Untuck your toes, cobra or up dog. Exhale, hips back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Good, from here, one more inhale. Exhale, lower to the knees, lower to the forearms. We're coming back to our forearm plank. Step your legs back, come up on the toes. And again, if this is too intense, you can lower the knees behind the hips. Otherwise, just forearms and toes on the mat. Moving toward forearm side plank. Take an inhale here. Exhale, bring the right hand to where the left elbow is. Roll to your right side, plant down through the right forearm. Left hand to hip, or you can reach the left arm all the way up to the right. Gaze comes down toward that right elbow. And breathe. Really engaging those side oblique muscles here to lift the hips up and away from the floor. Beautiful. One more inhale. Exhale, back to forearm plank. We're moving right to the second side. Inhale here. Exhale, left palm to where the right elbow is. Right hand to the hip. Press down through the left forearm. And then maybe reach the right arm up and overhead. Gaze to the left elbow. Squeeze the rib cage in. Lift the hips up and away from the floor. And soften the face. One more inhale. Exhale to forearm plank. One more inhale here. And on the exhale, lower to the belly. Untuck your toes. And we'll keep the arms right where they are. We're setting up for Sphinx, but take a couple slow breaths here. Maybe your Ujjayi breath got choppy. Find that rhythm. And then shoulders over elbows, spread your fingers wide. Press the tops of the feet to the mat so much the kneecaps start to lift. Next inhale, press the floor away, lift the chest up. Exhale, shoulders back and down for Nada Viralasana. Stay right here or straighten the arms as long as you can keep the hip bones on the mat. To go deeper, walk your hands toward the body. Getting a nice stretch through the abdomen here. Even when the abdomen is stretched, we're still isometrically engaging or contracting the belly muscles, even as they're pushing forward. Option to release the head and neck back for the last couple breaths. One more inhale wherever you're at. Exhale, release. Palms under shoulders, tuck all 10 toes. And we'll work on pressing up through plank. Knees can be lifted or lowered. Before rising up, draw your elbows to the ribs. Press down through the palms. If knees are lifted, lift them off the mat. Press down through your toes. Next, inhale, slowly rise up. Exhale, hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Nicely done. Take a few slow, steady breaths here. Feel that inner heat as you maintain that mental sense of calm and presentness. From down dog, inhale, right leg up and back. Bend the knee, stack the hips, scorpion dog. Inhale, right leg straight back. Exhale, step between the hands. Plant your back foot for warrior two. Inhale, rise up, open the arms wide. Exhale, gaze to the right middle finger. Take a deep bend in your right knee. So we're looking for a nice line from that front heel to the back arch of the foot. Pelvis pushes forward, shoulder blades squeezing together and back. Gaze to the right middle finger. Virabhadrasana 2. Deep inhale here. Exhale, right forearm, right thigh. Sweep the left arm down and up alongside the ear for Parshva Konasana, side angle. Great shape to feel into that engagement through the sides of the rib cage. Right side is contracting, left side opening, middle of the belly pulling in. Stay here to go deeper. Reach your right fingers straight down. And if you have the bind, left arm behind the back, right arm up and under the right leg. Maybe you catch the clothes, or maybe fingers come to interlace behind the back. What's most important here is that gaze turns up, becoming nice and flat through the back body, left shoulder pulling back. Good. If you found the arm bind, back to side angle, left arm up and overhead. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, reach to the right. Bend for Trikonasana. Right arm down, left arm high. This is a great place for a block underneath the fingers at any height. So we want to make sure that left shoulder doesn't come forward. Just like in side angle, nice flat back, gaze turning up towards your left thumb. Stay right here or reach the left arm up and overhead, right arm to the right, adding intensity, strengthening Trikonasana. And breathe. Good. One more inhale. Exhale, cartwheel the hands, frame the front foot, step it back, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Find a flow on your breath or find a resting shape. Choose what you need here. And breathe. If you're finding movement, we'll meet back in Adho Mukha Svanasana. And we'll take that on the second side. From down dog, inhale, left leg up and back. Bend the knee, stack the hips. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, step it through. Plant your back foot for warrior two. Inhale, rise up. Open the arms wide. Exhale, gaze to the left. Deep bend in the left knee. So even as you shift your gaze to the left, torso stays upright here. Shoulders over hips. And breathe. Virabhadrasana 2. Make sure you can see your left big toe inside your left knee. Roll that left hip back. Deep inhale here. Exhale, left forearm, left thigh. Sweep the right fingers down, up alongside the ear. Parshva Konasana. Reaching your right fingers as far to the left as you can. Plant down through your back foot. And then roll the right shoulder back, gaze turning up. Stay right here, or to go deeper, extend the left fingers toward the mat. Options for the wrap, right arm up and behind the back, left arm up and under the left leg. Either catching your clothing here, or maybe first two fingers come to bind. Really important not to collapse the chest forward. And breathe. Parshva Konasana wrap. If you found the wrap, back to side angle, right arm up and over to the left. Next, inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, reach to the left first, and then bend, right arm high, left arm down. Right shoulder stacking right on top of left. Option for your block under the left fingers at any height. And again, imagining a wall behind your back body here, becoming two-dimensional, gaze up to the thumb. Stay right here or reach the right arm up and over to the left arm to the left, strengthening triangle. Last couple breaths. One more inhale here. Exhale, cartwheel the hands, frame the left foot, and step it back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, knees wide, big toes touch. Press the hips back. Wide-legged Balasana. Let the face and breath soften, but then we'll make this active, getting into the side bodies. Keep your gaze low. Inhale here. Exhale, walk your hands to the right. Bring the left hand on top of the right palm. And then draw the left armpit down toward the mat. Should feel this through the left side body. Actively pressing your left buttocks toward the heel of the foot. And breathe. Keep the gaze low here. Inhale, walk the hands through center. Exhale, both hands to the left. Plant the right palm on top of the left hand. Interlace your fingers. And then draw the right armpit toward the mat. Notice any different sensations side to side. Just notice. Keep the gaze low. Inhale back through center. Exhale here. And with an inhale, press up to hands and knees. Coming to tabletop. Tuck your toes. Send the hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Option for a flow here on your breath or hold your down dog. Choose what you need. Breath comes first, then movement follows. If you moved, meet me back in Adho Mukha Svanasana. From here, inhale, come up on the toes and step or float to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms out and up, palms touch. Exhale, release the arms and bring both hands to the hips. Take a big step back with either foot, coming to face the long edge of the mat. Big toes turn slightly in. So rather than our typical forward fold here, we'll move on the breath, tapping opposite toes with the opposite fingers. Really focus on squeezing the core in as we move. Take an inhale here, reach the arms up. Exhale, bend, right fingers toward the left toes, left arm high. Inhale, rise through center, arms overhead. Exhale, left fingers to right toe, right arm high. Continue this way on your breath. Feet are fully planted. Each time you twist, see if you can twist without turning the hips. Really let that twist happen from the base of the spine. And breathe. Good. And it's okay if you're not touching toes. You can touch calves, anywhere you can reach along the legs. Couple more rounds like this. The next time you finish up the left side, meet me through center, arms up and overhead. Good, deep inhale here. Exhale, reach forward and fold, release. Let the back of the neck fully relax. We won't be here long. We'll have an opportunity for headstand in a bit. For now, maybe gently swaying left and right, pressing down through the feet. Prasarita Padottanasana A. If you found movement, come through center. Take an inhale, bend the knees, hands to hips. Exhale, roll all the way up. Heel toe your feet together and step with me to the top of the mat. We'll take a half sun salute on the breath, really slowing it down. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. One more inhale here. And on the exhale, lower to the knees. Meet me in tabletop pose. So we'll work on Shalamba Shirshasana 3, our tripod headstand, from this shape today. A little different than coming into it with legs wide. From your tabletop pose, hips are right over knees, toes are tucked. And then lower down to the forearms, just for a minute here. Check that your elbows are right under your shoulders. And then bring your palms to where your elbows are. Good, palms shoulder distance apart. Walk your knees a little closer to your wrists and start to bring the crown of the head toward the mat. Elbows should be drawing in, touching the rib cage here. And if the crown of the head can't comfortably touch, that's okay. You've hit your edge today. If you have the very top of the head and both hands on the mat in a nice triangle, begin to straighten the legs, toes stay tucked. Press down through the palms. To go further, walk the toes toward the hands. And maybe you stay here. Maybe you rest one or both knees on the backs of your triceps. Should have a nice shelf here on the backs of the arms. And then draw your big toes together, draw your heels toward the perineum. Stay here or draw the legs together, slowly straighten both legs up, pressing toes and heels of the feet toward the sky. If you invert, everything drawn toward the midline, core is active. A few rounds of breath to explore this. If you do fully invert with legs straight up, option to try piking down, pulling the belly in, straightening the legs back and down all the way toward the mat. Wherever you're at, if you're still in inversion, make your way back to hands and knees. Nice effort. And we'll move right to child's pose here, untucking the toes, legs together. This time send the arms back, palms up. Just give your shoulders a rest. And then take a moment to notice what came up, especially with inversions and arm balances. Maybe you had an expectation, a judgment. Maybe it felt great, but just notice, remembering that each time you come to your mat, you get to try again. One more breath cycle here. With an inhale, reach the arms forward and make your way to downward facing dog, our last down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. In our last down dog here, actively knit the rib cage in, pull in and up behind the navel, shift your gaze back, long torso. And then since we have blocks here, options to work on our float through to the feet between the hands. If you had enough intensity, you can just lower the knees and come to a seat. If you'd like to try floating through, bring your blocks to the outer top corners of your mat. So you're in down dog, but your arms are wide. What we'll be doing here, the first step is to work to land on the feet between the blocks. With time, we're working to shoot the legs all the way through, landing on the buttocks. If you'd like to try this, press down through the palms. Take an inhale, come up on the toes, gaze forward. Exhale, float, knees to chest, land on the feet. Try 2 or 3 more times if you like. Flexing the toes as you float will help to protect those toe joints. Always floating forward on the exhale. Good. Once or twice more if you like. Great way to build core control. And whenever you've had enough, we're lowering all the way to a seat. We'll send the legs nice and wide. If you like to use a blanket, you can slide it under the back inch of your sits bones here, or you can just use the hands to pull the flesh out from underneath. Find your tall seat. Take a couple rounds of breath to slow it down. Vigorous practice today. In and out through the nose. Flex the toes toward the body, ground down through both legs. Deep inhale here. Exhale, right sole of the foot to the inner left thigh. And then stay facing forward as you are. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bend to the left. Reach the right arm up and overhead. So we're in a side bend here. If you have the space, you can catch inside your left foot with your left fingers. And then straighten through that right arm, lift the gaze up, pull your right shoulder back. Keep grounding down through your bent leg and breathe. Without collapsing the chest forward, option to reach right fingers toward the outer edge of your left foot if you have the space. Parivrita, Janu Shavasana, revolved head to knee pose. Inhale, rise up through center, reach the arms high. Exhale, release the arms. Inhale, send the right leg wide. Exhale, left sole of the foot to the inner right thigh. Find your nice tall seat. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bend right, left arm up and overhead. Keep that right leg active, right toes flexed. Option to try reaching for the inside of your right foot with the right hand, and then draw the left shoulder back, shift your gaze up toward the sky, and breathe. As that left side body stretches, belly keeps pulling in. If you have the space, left fingers can come all the way outside your right foot. Couple more breaths here. Parivrita, Janu Shavasana. With an inhale, rise up through center. Exhale, release. And then draw the legs together, plant the feet, bend the knees. And we'll take a Navasana sequence here, boat pose. If you've had enough core work, you're welcome to skip this. Otherwise, more practice with engaging those side obliques. Starting with hands behind the thighs, sit tall. Draw your legs together. Take an inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, shoulders back. Lift the feet 90 degrees, gaze at the big toes. And then stay here or bring palms to heart center. Good, inhale here. Exhale, twist to the right, right elbow back. Inhale through center, keep sitting tall. Exhale, twist left, again like this. Inhale through center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. One more breath. Inhale through center. Exhale, plant the feet. Drape the torso over the legs. Draw your chin to your chest. And breathe. Really nice effort. With your next inhale, sit up and make your way all the way to the back. If you had a blanket underneath, slide that aside. We'll come fully to the back body here. Send the legs long. Release the arms alongside the body. Moving toward fish pose to get a nice stretch through the belly. Prop up on your forearms. Walk your elbows back. Elbows under shoulders. Forearms and palms are planted. Fingers spread wide. Point your toes, legs drawn together, and then tuck your shoulder blades a little closer together. Maybe your buttocks is sitting just on the very tip of your fingers here. Take an inhale, press down through the forearms, lift the chest toward the sky. Exhale, release the head and neck back, toes are flexed, and breathe. With time, we're working to get the very crown of the head to the mat. This will look different in different bodies depending on arm length. Matsyasana. Each inhale, imagine a string pulling your chest toward the sky. And breathe. Good. One more inhale here. Exhale, release. Walk your hands down. Come all the way to the back. And then flip your palms up. Let the feet splay out as they do. We'll take 3 rounds of lion's breath here, expelling any last stale air. We'll inhale through the nose and then stick out the tongue, scrunch up the face, loudly exhale. Preparing to inhale here. Twice more on your breath. Make some noise. With that next exhale, release, close the mouth back down. Find your Ujjayi breath. Inhaling through the nose, slight pause. Exhaling through the nose, slight pause. And then bend the knees, plant the feet, hips distance apart. Send your arms wide in a T, flip your palms down. Inhale, cross the right ankle over the left leg. We're setting up for our pigeon twist here. Flex your right toes, one more inhale. Exhale, roll to the left. Bring the right sole of the foot to the ground. Shift your gaze to the right. And then you can stay right here, or you can catch the right ankle with the left hand. Start to work that right hip out and away. One more option. If you can, reach for the left foot with the right hand for a nice deep quad stretch. Both shoulder blades are on the mat. Gaze to the right. Maybe eyes shut down all together here. Use your exhales to gently deepen that opening through the right hip. If you have the ankle and foot bind, release the arms, send them wide, palms down. Next, inhale, roll to the back. Uncross the right foot, plant it on the mat. And we'll move right to the second side. Inhale, left ankle over the right leg, flex your left toes a lot. Deep inhale here. Exhale, roll to the right, left foot to the ground, gaze to the left. If it's accessible, catch your left ankle with the right hand. It's adding a little extra leverage to pull that left hip out and away. Left fingers spread wide, palm, forearm pressing down to the ground. And then either stay here or option for that quad stretch, catching the right toes with the left hand, and then replace the left shoulder blade on the mat. Option to close down the eyes altogether. A couple breaths here. If you have that ankle and toe bind, release the arms, send them wide, palms down. Next, inhale, roll to the back, unwind. We're making our way towards Shavasana here. I'll leave space if there's another pose, any last movement you need. About 10 or so rounds of breath, no rush. Also a good time to find any clothing or props you'd like to be comfortable and warm. Especially after a vigorous core heating practice, now is the time to use your Ujjayi breath to create that inner sense of cool, calm, and rest. Allowing an active pause after each inhale and exhale. If you are finding movement, balance out left and right sides as you need. And begin to move toward your Shavasana shape. Coming into Shavasana corpse pose like we do sleep at the end of the day. Start to turn down your dharana, that mental focus on postures and breath. Let the whole back body release to the mat. As you settle in on the back, close down the eyes. Slide each heel a little further from the body. And tuck your shoulder blades together under the back. Draw the chin lightly to the chest, creating length through the back of the neck. And with your next exhale, let your Ujjayi breath go. Mouth stays closed, eyes are closed. Let the abdomen fully release and relax. Let the back of the throat relax. Nowhere else to be. No more effort to make. Simply holding this shape of quiet and stillness. I'll chant us into Shavasana with one round of Om, the universal sound of nature. As I chant, disconnect from my voice and cues. As you rest easy. Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Harihi Om Akanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Mena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Aum. Keep the eyes closed. Gently begin to deepen the breath. Once more, engaging the diaphragm to draw air toward the belly. And then contracting the belly in and up. As you feel ready, introduce small movements to the fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. And gently roll the neck left and right, up and down. In your own time, reach the arms overhead, find length from hands to feet, full body stretch. If it feels okay, draw both knees into the chest, roll to the right side body, and allow a few deep, slow breaths here before we rise to a seat. When you feel ready to rise, keep the eyes closed, press yourself to a seat. And we'll meet sitting tall, either legs crossed, half lotus, one heel to the opposite hip. And either way, ground down through both sides of the body. Lightly roll the shoulders back and down, stacking shoulders over hips. With an inhale, palms to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Pressing thumbs to heart, heart to thumbs. The light within me honors and respects the light within each of you. Thank you, mil gracias. We bow and say a word. Namaste. Whether you join live or on YouTube, really glad to practice with you. Nice work with a vigorous practice. And for those of you that are interested in yoga or physical therapists or just interested in the body, I really recommend all the books by this person. His name is Ray Long, and he is a doctor and yoga person and a lot of other things. But for example, what we were talking about today, looking at parts of the core, especially if you're someone that has a hard time locating where muscles are, I think his descriptions and photos are a really nice way. He also includes another book called The Key Poses of Yoga that goes along with the muscles. So if there's a particular pose you're interested in looking at how it works, I really recommend his resources. So happy to take questions at any time. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.